Hey guys, hopefully this video records um, good. When I've been making videos lately, they've been like miniature, like they haven't been full screen videos, and I really have no idea what I did or how to fix it. But I was trying to watch a little tutorial on YouTube, and maybe this fixes it, maybe it won't. But yeah, this has actually been a very bad year for me. I mean, last year, I probably grossed 100,000, which is pretty good for the job that I have. But I was in a couple situations where I thought the job was unsafe and I had to leave. And I left a good situation. Well, it was good except for the unsafe part. But I left for more pay, which was maybe 2,000 more a month. But that job didn't work out, and then I was back and forth with my recruiter, and they would have a job, and then the job get filled, and they'd put me in for another job, and then it takes a week to hear back, and then that job got filled, and it was just a big, long ordeal. And so I bumped around jobs a little too much this past year, and I've been working as a travel nurse, and right around Christmas time nobody's hiring, but I thought I had one locked up, and then then that one got filled or whatever, and so then I'm going with a different agency now, so hopefully in the next 2 weeks I'll get my first check, and hopefully I'll be back to work and making money. But I've been out of work now for probably a month, and maybe longer than a month. But yeah, this past year has not been good. I've been out of work for probably at least 4 months out of the year, maybe 5. I don't know exactly, but so unfortunately my savings has taken a hit because I've had to pull money out of stocks, and well, originally I had pulled 10,000 out to pay the closing costs on a house using a VA loan, but the interest rates got out of control. The home price values, skyrocketed. I mean, 14% year over year when homes should only go up 2% with inflation is just ridiculous. And I can't, see, I like to buy things that are fair value or undervalued. I don't want to be paying, 300,000 for a house that's only worth 100,000. And then not only that, but then you're basically enslaved for 30 years or 15 years or however long, to this home that I just think there has to be a better way, and the only thing I can think of is buy some cheap land somewhere and build your own little tiny house, pay it off in a couple years, 3 to 5 years maybe, and then maybe upgrade from there. But I don't want to be paying $2,000 for a mortgage for the next 30 years. That's just not me. I mean, if I got to go live in a RV or something, I'll go that route. But right now, I still got to pay a car off, and luckily the interest rate's only 4%, so that's not a big deal. But I would like to be debt free and not have any debts. But yeah, for a while last year I was doing good. I was probably investing $700 a week. I was putting $500 into whatever stock I was going to put it in that week, and then I probably was putting 200 into my Roth and my little screw around account, and things were going good. But like I said, life happens, and I needed that money to live on, and so when I'm in these periods of in between work and stuff, I unfortunately have to live on my savings. That's not ideal, and hopefully that I can decrease the time in between going forward, or maybe make that even non-existent. But anytime you're a travel nurse, the contracts might last 10 weeks, 13 weeks, whatever, 8 weeks, and then that you got to go to find something else, and or if you didn't like it, or if you liked it, you could try to renew and stay. But also the rates for people have gone down a lot since COVID, so the pay rates are a lot less now, and that's another problem, because if I go out of state, then you got to find somewhere to live. It has to make sense. If I'm buying paying $100 a night for a hotel room for a month, that's $3,000 a month just in a hotel room. Plus, I still got to pay my expenses in my current apartment, or move out. Then you got to find some place to stick your stuff. So it's been kind of rough for me this last year, but hopefully things will get better, and hopefully this year will be a good year, and we'll see. But I haven't logged into my account. I haven't even really been paying attention to what's going on, just because I haven't had the money to invest. I haven't really been paying attention much. But a couple of weeks ago, BAK went to $9. Actually, it was a little above $9, and I decided I had 75% of my Roth in this company, and my average buy price was $920 or $930, and I had roughly 2,000 shares. But I did get a dividend. I mean, they're not paying a dividend right now, but last year I did get several $100s from a dividend. So even though I sold probably somewhere under $9, just barely under $9, my average buy price was probably $920. So I was probably down $500, but I probably got $200 in dividends at least, maybe more. So I was thinking at the most I was probably down $300, which is good considering I was down over $4,500 at one point. Because if you guys remember, I had tripled down when it was like 660 or something like that. I had triple down, and I was about to go 100% all in. If I would have gone 100% all in, I actually would have made money. But I basically had 75% in BAK, and I had 25% in PBR. And PBR, when I started buying PBR, it was like $10, and I have the A shares. I mean, you can have the regular PBR. To me, the A shares should be more expensive than the regular shares, but that's not really the case. And so yeah, PBR is still doing good. They had that massive dividend a while back, and it still kept going up. So I don't know exactly when I bought it, but like I said, when I started buying it, it was at 10. It just makes me wish I would have put a little bit more into it when it was at 10. And then it goes to 15. So PBR has actually done really good. And if you guys don't know, PBR basically owns BAK. They own, I don't know, 40% of it or something. But to me, this is like a poor man's ExxonMobil, and the risk is the country. And you see the 52-week range, 8 to 16, and like I said, I started buying at 10. I mean, I bought some well above 10, probably in the 12s, but let me see here. But just to show you there, all right, so 1561, 1625. See, like, to me, this makes no sense why the regular PBR, because to me, the A shares are like the upper middle class, and then the regular PBR like the middle class. Like, the A shares have the voting, well, in most companies, they got they're called prefer. I don't know. They use like, they're not preferred, but they're like a little special because you get more voting rights. But because the government of Brazil basically owns this company, the voting rights to me don't really matter. Because the country of Brazil basically owns the president and the political leaders. But yeah, this has not been good news for BAK, and I don't know if I've made a video in a while, but basically what I did was, instead of having 75% in BAK, I cut it down to 10%. And instead of 25% in PBR, I made it 10%. So you might just say I'm a damn genius or what? I don't know, but for whatever reason, God smiled on me, and I got out. I sold basically at $9 or like $8.90 or somewhere. I don't know exactly what the sell price was, but it was somewhere close to that, because when I use M1 Finance, for example, it's not a limit order like I would do in E-Trade. Hey, I want to sell it at exactly this price, and I assume that's how they make their money. I mean, if they just jip you on a couple pennies, if they're, instead of selling at $7.70, they're selling at $7.69. Or telling you they sold at $7.69 and they really sold at $7.71. They're making 2 pennies a share, and 2 pennies doesn't sound like a lot of, a lot of people aren't going to miss 2 pennies, but when you're doing millions of transactions every second, 2 pennies add up to, billions of dollars. In fact, I think there was a guy, I can't remember, I just remember the story vaguely, but I remember there was a guy who tried to do some kind of computer where he was skimming, like, I don't even think it was a penny. I think it was like a tenth of a penny, or 20th of a penny. But when those computers are, like I said, making millions of transactions every second of the day, 5 days a week, how many hours a day, that tenth of a penny, a hundredth of a penny, whatever it was, adds up to millions or billions. But I'm sure I'm definitely down on this now because, like I said, my average buy price was $9.20, and remember, I started buying this like at $12.50 maybe, and I thought at the time that it was worth $25, and even back in July 2021, it was $25. So when I'm buying at 12, I'm thinking I'm getting a bargain here, and then little did I know that, the thing that was at 25, and here I'm buying it at 12, thinking, hey, it's going to go right back to 25. I'm going to get an easy double up, and then now it drops to 6. But as you can see, this thing has been very cyclical over its history. It'd be interesting to know kind of like what the average over this history has been. I don't. But I'm pretty sure in the future that whenever the bank sells 40% of the company to whatever bidder, I mean, there was a bidding war. That was the whole reason why the stock was going up. That was the reason it went to. See right here, June 23 was 12.46. But yeah, they had some bad news. That is why it was going down. And then they had some good news, and it popped up. And then they had some more bad news. I think that's what. But I remember it, like right here, it went up. I don't know how much it went up, but it was a lot. It was, within a week, it basically went from 661 to 9, from the 13th of December through December 26th. It went from 6 something to 9. So that was a really good bump. But if they're willing to, if there's a bidding war and they're willing to buy 40% of the company for 1.1 billion, let's assume the other 40% is worth 1.1 billion. That's 2.3 billion, and then you got another 20% of the company that's got to be say 600K. That's right at three billion, which is basically where we're at now. But the thing is, they're not willing to sell it at 1.1 billion. They're not willing to sell 40% at 1.1 billion because they think it's worth a lot more than that. And what may happen is PBR, they might just buy that 40% stake. That's probably what they should do. But it may not double. Like I said, I thought it was worth 25 when I bought it. That's why I bought it. I thought it was worth 25. It was selling at 12. But I've doubled down, I've tripled down, and and I basically got to the break-even point, and I cut my risk some, because maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong sometimes, and if I got 75% of my retirement in this company that goes bankrupt or something, or blows up, or a nuclear bomb hits it tomorrow, or a tsunami washes it away or something, I'm pretty much out of the game. For a good long while. I mean, I need to build up, take years to, I got 3 years invested, or 3.5 years invested in this Rolf thing, and I basically would lose those 3 years of, investing. So anyway, I cut my risk, and maybe I was even going to go down to 5% for BAK. And the other 5% I was going to stick in some big blue chips like Google and Microsoft and Oracle and ExxonMobil and some of the big ones that I think in the future could do. I mean, even though they're huge companies today, you never know what they might develop some new game changer, in the next 20 years. And I don't know. But anyway, that didn't happen. I decided not to do that, and I left 10% of this company. And right now I'm getting my butt kicked again, but I think eventually, if there's another news of a bidding war, or they up the bid, let's say they up the bid to 1.5 billion for 40%, that's definitely going to make the stock go up. But when you trade stocks, you try to be as unemotional as you can possibly be. And I missed out on that 30 bagger DAC when I bought it at 3. I thought it was worth 30, but I ended up selling at $6, $7, and $9, and then it ends up going to $100 within a year. And my little 5,000 would have turned into 200,000. That one still stings a little, but when you see something going straight up every day is just going straight up. But the thing was, that was all the money I had in the world, and I knew that if it's going up 10-15% every day, it could also go down by that much. It could go down by a lot more than that. So sometimes taking a profit is the best thing to do, and me see here. There was one guy I saw that had a couple good posts, but I don't know if I can find it right away. Mike said he sold short 8,000 shares at 1607, covered hours later, and made a profit of 40,000 pre-tax. He risked 1.2 million to make 20,000. I think this Abu Dhabi National Oil Company is probably going to be the one who purchases it. He's saying the stock moves at 92% higher than the market does. See, a lot of people think that that is risk. To me, that's not, because if you're buying assets that are way undervalued, you want them to be moving fast. You want them to whenever there's let's say gold from the time of Christ to now has always been $1,300 an ounce, which is what I believe the price of gold should be. And a couple years ago, I was buying gold and gold miners when gold was $1,100 an ounce, because at that point I thought it was undervalued. The problem with a lot of these small gold miners was it was costing them sometimes $1,300 just to get the gold out of the ground, and thus they were losing money, or they just had to stop drilling because it just wasn't profitable. Now the profitable ones, they might be able to get gold out of the ground for $700 an ounce. So if gold, like right now, is $2,000 an ounce or whatever, and they can get out of the ground for $600, $700, they're making a killing. But the point I was trying to make, if you know what the value of something is, like let's say, in this case, I thought this company was worth $25 easily. And that was a low estimate, $25. I can't remember when I first looked at it, but this company was making something like their free cash flow, you were paying like $4 or less for every dollar of free cash flow they had, or something. It was something unbelievably cheap. This guy's shorted it. But the thing that's confusing is this is a Brazil company, so like their earnings, I don't know if it's that's 13 billion relos or whatever, which is like, I don't know, 1.3 billion US dollars. But still, if they're they lost money here, but let's just say, and this is back in 2001, not 22, but they made $1.3 billion, almost $1.4 billion, let's say in 2021. Well, you could buy the whole company for $3 billion. I mean, to me, that's a no-brainer. I mean, they're giving you $1.3 billion of profit in 1 year, and you could buy the whole entire company for $3. So basically, you could get your money back in 2 years. Let's say this company, lasts another 50 years or 100 years, and they're making you $1 billion of profit every single year for the next 50 years. I mean, you just made $48 billion in profit. I mean, you got your money back in the or $47 billion in profit. You got your money. You can buy the whole company for $3. You got your money back in the first 2 to 3 years. The other 47 years was all profit. Not even including the dividends. Like I said, I just got a 20% dividend last year from this company. We don't have another dividend thing, but they're few and far between. But they paid I don't know what the hell that is. I guess that's so I think that's in reloads or wherever the hell it is instead of US dollars. Well, yeah, that might be right. 70 cent a share. I didn't have 2,000 shares back then. I only had like maybe 400, but 300 or 400. But I got 200 or 300 in dividends from it. So it was at least a 20% dividend. And so, I mean, their dividends are not, they're sporadic. 14, 15, 16, paid another one in 16, 17, 18. I don't know what happened to this one. I don't know if that one, I guess that one was paid sometime in 19. They skipped 20. Maybe that was COVID. 21, 22. So to me, they really only missed 20. So if this is accurate, 50 cent, 40 cent, 70 cent, 70 cents, 70 cent, $1, 40 cent, 260. Man, that would be a good deal if you're buying a stock for $10 and you get a damn $2.60 dividend. But anyway, I had someone had made a comment, and unfortunately, I don't know if I have notification turned off or what, but I didn't realize that someone had made a comment on my last video, and it was asking me how I was doing this year, so, I just wanted to be honest and upfront with you guys, and, I'm struggling right now. I've been out of work for a month, but luckily, the other day I found a $1,400 check sitting around from one of my last jobs that I forgot to cash. Everything's direct deposited, but usually if it's your last check, sometimes they'll send it in the mail instead of direct deposit. So I wasn't expecting a check, and that really helped me out. But yeah, so I just been living on some savings the last month, and I had a couple months during the summer that I was out of work. I think I was out of work for 3 months during the summer. So I was out of work for probably 4 out of 12. But hopefully we'll get back to work, and that's one reason why I try to save 40%, and I need to be saving probably more than that, maybe 50, 60, 70%. And hopefully, any more hiatuses between work or days and not weeks. But sometimes that's how it is when you got to do background checks and you got to do drug tests and get this shot and get that shot and take this test and send me your social security card, your all this stuff, so sometimes it just takes a while. But I think if I had some extra money right now, I definitely would be buying at 767. I don't think you can lose money under $9 or $10. If you're buying under 9 or 10, I don't think you can lose money. I'm recording this at 2:50 in the morning, and someone has their horn just blaring outside. So that tells me it's a good time to end the video. Thank you for watching, guys, and hopefully in the coming days maybe I'll be able to give you a better video. Thank you.